What's good? Give some folks over here a couple more minutes to get up in here. We got some shit to talk about. You are just in time. Just in time. You're just in time. Sit down. We got a couple things to talk about. I see you. That's right. We got some dust we got to blow off tonight, baby. We inside, baby. We got some shit. We got some things we got to get into. Happy March to everybody. Got some folks checking in. We about to get into it. And it's the dusty section of IG. We inside, baby. Let's get it. Folks sitting in the front section of the dusty section. Where you checking in from? All right, yo. Looks like my folks is already settled in. All right. So I'd like to welcome you to the dusty section of IG. I am your host, Jones Sounds, and we inside, baby. So I'd like to thank y'all all for joining me and whatnot. We about to really talk about some really interesting things that's happening, that's been trending right now. And at the end of the day, I felt the need to get this off my chest, and I need to know, what planet are we on? We're going to talk about it right now. All right, so let's get into it, baby. We inside. All right. Topic of discussion for the evening. And this is brought to you via the Neighborhood Talk. If you don't know about the Neighborhood Talk, I mean, these cats over there, yo, they stay on it. They really be on their BI. They stand on their business when it comes to reporting the news, reporting all the trending topics and all that good stuff. But I took a matter of yesterday seeing a little bit of what they was reporting on as far as this interesting article that they put out here about your man's Kanye West and his wife Bianca Censori. And forgive me and pardon me if I ain't got the name right, but Bianca Censori has a bit of a interesting family issue. We got Papa Censori over here online, and I can't tell you if this is a clout attempt. I can't tell you where this all came from. I can't tell you if he's had even talked to having any conversations with Kanye West, or even spoke to his own daughter in reference to a question that he wants to ask Mr. Kanye West himself about his own daughter. Now, reportedly, Papa Censori has wanted to ask Kanye West a question about the particular matters of how his choice of his daughter's clothes and apparel has been quite a hot topic. You know, basically he wants to know exactly and wants to ask Kanye West, you know, hey, how would you feel if you, Mr. Kanye West, how would you feel if your daughters was wearing the same things that my daughter was wearing? Because you're outside, you pretty much got my daughter out here in these streets looking like a trophy pony, you know what I'm saying? Half-ass naked, cat out, titties out, you know, the full nine, you know. Don't say the car's topless, you know, say the titties is out, you know. Want to know exactly if your daughters did the same thing that my daughter did, you know, how would you feel? And basically, you're not showing my daughter any love. It's control. So that's a question that Papa Censori wanted to ask Kanye West about his daughter, Bianca Censori, his grown daughter, Bianca Censori. Wanted to know what it felt like if his young daughters, his young underage daughters, Kanye West's young underage daughters, North and Chicago West, what would he feel like if they were paraded around naked like trophy ponies, like he has Bianca paraded around as? Again, Papa Censori wants to know, how would Kanye West feel if his young underage daughters north in Chicago were outside dressed half naked, and that isn't love, it's control. And I had to ask myself, I really had to ask myself a serious question. What planet are we on that we gotta bring young, innocent, underage kids into grown folks' business? What planet are we on that we gotta do that? What planet are we on that we are bringing grown folks and kids mingling with each other? What planet are we on that we're doing that, where we're bringing underage, innocent children who can't defend themselves into grown folks' business? Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, Jonesy, you know, he's a dad, and Bianca is his child. And he could speak on whatever he want to speak on when it comes to his child. He's going to speak up for his child, Bianca, because at the end of the day, he's a dad. Good, bad, or indifferent. Young or grown. A dad is going to speak up for his kids or children, daughters, sons, whatever. They're going to speak up regardless of how the age is and how grown they are or how old they are. A dad is going to speak up for his kids, right? And I reply to that, you are absolutely correct. As a father, as any man that has daughters, nieces, any of that, of course, there's going to be an immediate concern for the people that you love, regardless of the age, right? But what I don't agree with is why are you bringing underage kids into grown folks' business? That's the dilemma that I have. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know, like, I need to know, where do we get off thinking that it's acceptable for grown-ups to be bringing in little kids and grown-up business? Now, mind you, I agree that a dad should feel the way they feel for their child, because in the eyes of a parent and a child, that person will always be their parent in certain ways, right or wrong. I say to that, if I'm your dad, I'm always going to be your dad. But parenting stops at a certain age. I mean, it does. At least I believe it does, right? And so I feel as though that if you are trying to play daddy to somebody who is a grown individual with their own mind, their own thoughts, their own values, their own system of how they live their life, then you're kind of too late, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to trying to do that for people who are grown. Because at the end of the day, see, people say, hey, Bianca is his child, right? Bianca is his child. Do you agree or disagree? She's somebody's daughter. That I can agree to. But she ain't nobody's child. Bianca is a grown woman with her own thoughts, her own style, her own way of living. And she chose you see, y'all ain't feeling me on this one. She chose, okay? We got to call a spade on this, okay? See, we playing spades tonight. Gotta pardon me. We playing spades tonight, okay? Bianca Censori chose to be with Kanye West. And at the end of the day, She's a grown-ass woman. Grown woman with her own set of values, her own thoughts, her own impulses, her style of dress. She got her own life to live. And at the end of the day, she's living her life with Kanye West the way she wants to live it. And at the end of the day, if she chooses to be with that man, she gonna stay with that man. If she chooses to leave that man, she's gonna leave that man. So my question is, why now, Papa Censori? My question to you, because you want to ask a question, Father the Father, right? About if your daughters were in that position, how would you feel? So now I ask you, Papa Censori, okay? My thing about it is as far as addressing certain things, why can't you address it with your grown daughter? Do you have the best relationship with your daughter that you feel as though that you have to address another man about your daughter's habits and about your daughter's style of dress and about your daughter's apparel and about the way your daughter is being put into the spotlight because, again, she chose? She chose to be like that? Why are you addressing Kanye West? And what does North and Chicago got to do with it? Help me understand. What does underage North and Chicago West have to do with the fact that your daughter, your grown-ass daughter, is choosing to dress the way she dresses? Because again, it's a choice. And then the pushback I get is, well, she ain't got much of a choice, do she? You know, we already know that Kanye is controlling. And that's no way for a man to have his woman. I mean, don't women have a mind of their own? Don't women have a choice on who they want to be with? Don't women have an ability to pick their own clothes and how they want to be perceived? Don't they have a choice? Don't they have a say-so? You acting like that, people acting like that, women don't have nothing to do with how they get to be portrayed. At the end of the day, okay. But Papa Censori, can we play spades right now? Can we play spades right now? Because we got to call a spade, right? You got to call a spade. Like, seriously. A spade is a spade is a spade. To me, it's given that you feel some type of way because you missed out on your important formative parenting style and years with Bianca and her sisters, right? I mean, I think you are trying to insert yourself as a parent and your parenting days are over because this woman is grown now. And for me, you're taking your issue up with the wrong person, because while you was too busy trying to be a parent, which you should have been a parent, you were too busy in the streets outside, slinging dope, in the penitentiary, in prison. You were too busy doing things that didn't concern anything that a parent should be doing when it comes to developing and raising young kids. You weren't the best parent, okay? And now you want to come in and you want to play daddy now to somebody who you raised up to be now an attention whore, because guess what? She wants your attention. That's all. She wants your attention because you weren't there for her when you were supposed to be there for her. And now you want Kanye? You want Kanye to answer? And you want Kanye to be the person to speak for her like she ain't got a mind of her own? Is that what that is? Is that what we doing? And not only you do that and you look for validation, but then you want to bring kids, underage minors, into the mix that ain't got shit to do with it. Let me tell you something right now. Don't project your failed parenting on other people's kids. No, I don't think y'all heard me. Don't project your failed parenting on somebody else's kids. Because that's exactly what it's given right now at this point. You made it very abundantly clear that you got a problem with the apparel of what your grown daughter is parading around in. Because again, she wants your attention. She's thirsty for a daddy because you weren't there for her when she was supposed to be looking towards for you to lead her and guide her and to raise her into somebody that you could be proud of. Because right now, you don't seem too proud of her. You don't seem to be proud of who she's with now. And because she has an insatiable thirst and a thirst that can't be quenched for a daddy, guess what? She was willing to go to Kanye West because Kanye is now her new daddy. You failed as a parent, Mr. Censori, Papa Censori. It's too late now for you to try to play Papa now. And then you want to project your bad parenting on Kanye, which is a decent parent. See, he's actively involved in North and Chicago's life right now, trying to keep them off of TikTok, the internet, and things like that. Keeping them out the paparazzi face, keeping them out of attention's way. Because again, your grown daughter chose to get the attention that you were supposed to supply her when she was younger. And she's just acting out. She's acting out right now. And you feel a way about it. You feel a way about it because you failed as a parent. And you want Kanye West to give you an explanation of your failed parenting? Is that what we doing? And you want to bring little kids in the mix, innocent little underage kids like North and Chicago West. Papa Censori, with all respect, keep Chicago and Northwest's name out your fucking mouth. All due respect, I'm going to say it one more time. And I'm going to say it for the people in the back. If y'all don't hear this, hear it now. Papa Censori, keep Chicago and Northwest's name out your fucking mouth. No need for you to bring them little girls up in that whole situation. You talking about a grown woman. If you got a problem with the way your daughter dress, take it up with your grown daughter. Don't be talking about Kanye West's young underage kids. And for you to even think and put that same category on that little kids and those little kids, to me, don't even make sense. Again, I got your point. I got the sentiments that you feel as a concerned father, but you're no longer her parent no more. You can't parent her no more. She grown. She's a grown woman. And she chose to be with Kanye West. And leave it up to you. She wouldn't be with him. And that's okay. That's cool. That's all right. That's no worries, no problem. But see, had you been doing your job as a parent, guess what? She never would have went that way. I think I'll need to run that back. Had you been doing your job as a parent, she never would have looked Kanye's way. And guess what? Kanye would have never got her. Kanye would have never got a hold of her. Would have never shown her the attention that you should have shown her, because that's all she's doing. She's trying to get the attention that you should have gave her as a young daughter to a young person, a child. The attention as a parent you should have gave to her in her formative years of development. Now, guess what? She's acting out now because, again, she wants that attention from her daddy. That's why she's doing what she's doing. And if you don't get it by now, then I'm sorry. Kanye is not responsible for providing an explanation on why you failed as a parent. He's not responsible for providing you anything. He don't owe you anything when it comes to why your daughter dresses the way she dresses. She clearly is not complaining about it. You are. You got the problem. And you know what I say to that? The person that has the problem is the person that needs to make the move. That means you need to move in your daughter's direction, and you need to talk and take it up with your grown daughter. Take it up with your daughter. Stop looking for outlets because you, again, don't want to accept the fact that you might have fucked up your daughter. You might have fucked up the way your daughter came out. And that's cool to say, you know what, I could have did things better. I don't understand why parents can't, some parents, not all, but I don't understand why some parents can't swallow that hard pill that, you know what, I might have fucked up. I might have failed my child. And I need something, and I need some reassurance to make sure that, you know, she's not totally fucked up, because at the end of the day, I was young. I made mistakes. I did things I shouldn't have did. And I'm basically now trying to atone for it. I want to try to fix that. I want to try to right the wrong. But when you sit around and, again, you want to go after another man and his small underage kids that ain't got shit to do with it, that's where I have a problem. See, we're not going to bring no kids into it. We're not about to bring no kids into no grown folk business. You ever know, back in the day when you were smaller, when you were younger, and you went over your cousin's house and everything, and your aunts and your uncles, you know, they I don't know, got together, played cards, you know, smoked, drank, you know, did what they did. And guess what they did? Immediately, the first thing you were supposed to do is you go and play with them other kids. You go in the room with them other kids. You go outside and you be with them other kids. You don't sit around in grown folk business. That's just how that went. You don't sit around and watch grown folks move their mouth and talk about shit that ain't got nothing to do with you. You a kid. Stay in a child's place. Don't be sitting around grown folks trying to get in grown folk business. Stop listening. Stop looking in grown folk mouth. This is the same thing that applies now. You should not be bringing kids into grown folks' business, Papa Censori. You should not be sitting around thinking that it's okay to bring underage minors like North and Chicago West to a situation that ain't got nothing to do with them. And then you project that bad parenting on them because, again, you failed. You failed as a dad because your daughter basically wants to be something that she isn't. And at the end of the day, you raised her to be like that. See, her whole thing right now is her basically screaming and dying for attention. That's why she got the fucking titties out. That's why she got the cat showing. She wants a daddy. She's crying and screaming for her daddy. And guess what? You got somebody like Kanye West that has money, who can provide, who can produce, who can do all those things, because he's a dad himself. So he could put himself in your shoes. But you ain't got to throw his young underage daughters in it. You had no business bringing North and Chicago up. Like I say, I got the message. I got what you were trying to say. I got what you meant. I'll say this. I got what you meant, Papa Censori, but the way you said it was totally out of pocket, because ain't no way. If you don't play about yours, what makes you think that Kanye West play about his? What makes you think that you could put his young underage daughters in your mouth about something that ain't got nothing to do with them? Because your daughter wants to dress slutty. Because your daughter wants to dress like a hoe. And then, like I said, you want to talk about him parading her around when she chose that life. She chose to be with that man. She chose to be in the light. She chose to be in the lifestyle. And you mad because you failed. You were slinging dope. You were laying up behind bars. And you wasn't being the proper dad you were supposed to be to Bianca and her sisters. Let's get to that. And then you want to drag your black son-in-law and his biracial kids, underage kids, into something that ain't got nothing to do with them. Where do you get off? And what planet do we live on to think that that shit is cool? Anybody that can justify that type of nonsense, trust me, they not to be trusted. That lets me know you'll fight kids. If you can justify that type of lunacy, that means you're going to fight somebody's kids. Yeah, let's bring the kids into it. That's that man's child. No, the fuck it's not. No, it ain't. Nah. Bianca's not a child no more. Nope. You can't convince me anything differently. No. Bianca, that's his daughter. Okay? Daughter. Grown-ass daughter. Not a child. She's not a child. And you know what? Everybody wants to be a child until it's time to get put in a child's place. You want to be a child until it gets time to put in a child's place. Papa Censori, you need to have a talk with your daughter. Because honestly, I don't think she's rocking with you right now. I really don't think she's rocking with you, because why would it take you to have to go through Kanye to get to your daughter? If you're just now getting in, we're talking about Kanye West, wife Bianca's dad. Papa Censori is not here for Kanye West's antics, saying that he is parading her around like a trophy pony. Okay. And basically he wants to ask the rapper, how would it feel like if North and Chicago West would be outside dressed like that? And at the end of the day, North and Chicago West are two beautiful underage kids that Kanye West and Kim Kardashian have together. And at the end of the day, we still living in times where people think that it's okay to bring young, minor, underage kids into grown people's business. We are still living in times where basically it's cool. People think it's okay to do that. Who's protecting our kids? Who is protecting our kids? And for me, Papa Censori, you got no business. I could see if North and Chicago was the same age as your grown daughter, and you could do that comparison, right? You can't do that. Not with no young underage kids. You can't do that. You can't make the comparison. It's apples and oranges at this point. You can't do it. You can't do that. And you can scream, oh, Bianca is that man's child all you want. And yes, he's a dad, and he can feel like that about his dad, and I agree. He can feel any way he wants to feel as a concerned dad, not a parent, because his parenting is over with. Because again, when you frame it, you're saying that Bianca is still a minor and still a child and physically not able to think for herself. And she can't defend herself. When she could, because she's grown. She's of the age. She has the ability to think, speak, defend, speak up, do all that other good stuff that women do when they are of the age. Hell, she can have her own kids if she wanted to, if she even got any or whatever. You know, I don't know, but ain't none of my business. But I feel as though that we still are living in times where you got grown individuals thinking that it is cool to bring small kids and minors into grown folk business. How y'all feel about that? I don't feel too good about it. But like I say, I can understand him as a dad and as a man that has daughters. I can understand and feel where he's coming from. But he just didn't frame that right for me. Nah. Don't be bringing Chicago and North and nothing. Them kids don't know you. And Kanye don't owe you nothing. He don't owe you a thing. And I feel as though that you made it very clear that you and your daughter don't have the best communication skills, because again, you should be communicating your grievances about the way your daughter's appearance is and apparel is with your grown ass daughter. What do Kanye West got to do with it? Kanye West, is he dressing her? And even if he is, she's agreeing to put the clothes on. She's complicit in that. And let's be real. Even if we speculate that if Kanye was a controlling type of person or a control freak, was what people like to say he is, I feel as though that, again, your daughter has made the choice, the conscientious choice, to glue herself to that control freak. And her choice in men usually has to come from somewhere. Where does her choice in men come from? I mean, most dads that I know, an active and a present father will tell his daughter what type of men she should be involved in and the type of men that she should avoid. And if you're talking about somebody, okay, if you don't approve of your son-in-law, okay, then that means you have to take a look at you as a dad as to where you went wrong from having you even think that your daughter that you raised and you were responsible for raising would have that type of choice in men. A woman, a grown woman of age, and her choices are usually based off of the things that was back in childhood. Unresolved childhood issues. And clearly Bianca's having a ton of them. She has a ton of unresolved childhood issues concerning her dad because, again, she is treating Kanye West as her new daddy. So you're not seeing the connection here. Papa Censori, you're not seeing the fact that you might have a problem on your hands that doesn't concern anything with Kanye West. Because again, your problem is not with him and his little underage daughters. No, your problem is with how you did your daughter, Bianca, your grown daughter, and how she turned out to be. And you know what? It's too bad because it's too late now to try to play daddy. You want to play daddy at the inopportune time. You should have been doing that, like I said, back in the day when you was slinging dope. You should have did that back in the day when you was up in the penitentiary. You should have did that back in the day when, like I said, you should have been keeping an eye on your daughters because you was too busy outside. You should have been did all of that. Allowing minor children that can not defend themselves and cannot protect themselves against adults and inserting them into grown people business, that's nasty work. I'm going to say that again for the folks in the back. Inserting young, defenseless, minor, underage kids that can't defend themselves and protect themselves against adults, putting them and inserting them into grown folk business, that's nasty work. Man, let's get to that. That's nasty work right there. And for me, unacceptable. You should have framed it as a different way as far as trying to prove a point, so to speak. Because I see your point. I get where you're coming from, Papa. But the way you did that, totally off base. There's no way you should be putting up north in Chicago in that whole situation. And your grievances with your daughter, you should have never did it. Nope, they ain't got nothing to do with it. Those are young kids, young defenseless children. And you sit there and you act like, you know, they are of the age like Bianca. I could see if they were of the age of Bianca, because then that way you could do the comparison, apples to apples, but you can't do that. You talk about a grown woman versus a minor, apples and oranges now. And at the end of the day, like I say, you might see Bianca as always being your baby girl. And I get that. Most parents do. But she, again, when you try to tell your baby girl what to do, see what happens. See what happens if she's going to listen to you like she tried to listen to you when she was younger. Because, again, she ain't got no respect for you. Let's be real. She still wants your attention, but she ain't got no respect for you because she don't respect the fact how you did her and her sisters. You kind of almost like didn't really do what you needed to do. And again, you want to try to make up for that. We see you trying to make up. Well, some of us. Some of us. See, some of us can see it. Not all. But some of us can see you trying to make up for it. You trying to compensate for it. And it's too late. That girl is gone now. Your baby girl is gone now. She's in the hands of somebody else now. And guess what? You got a big problem with it. And in many ways, there's nothing you could do about it. There's nothing that you can do now that your girl, your baby girl now, is with Kanye West. There's nothing you could do about it. So you just need to butt out. And as a dad, let your baby girl be the woman that she is now. Let her be who she is. Because again, you played your part as a dad. Let Kanye West be a dad to his underage kids that you just couldn't resist bringing up and putting in grown folk business. Kanye West is from what I understand, he's not having the same problems as you. And then people like to say, oh, well, when North and Chicago, when they get of the age, we don't know that. We don't know if they're going to have husbands. We don't know that. We don't know if they're going to be dressing skanky and, like I say, having all of this showing and all. We don't know that. And we shouldn't even be thinking about that. We shouldn't even be putting that type of fuck shit on them. That's the problem with people now. Love to try to project misfortune and fuck shit on little kids. And at the end of the day, it's unacceptable. Let kids be kids. It's appropriate. for kids to be kids. You sticking them in that conversation about your grown daughter dressing as a slut is inappropriate. That man don't owe you no explanation. Kanye West doesn't owe you any explanation about shit your daughter is doing. Butt out, Dad. Butt out. It's too late. You ain't gonna be able to get your baby girl back. Too late. But guess what? It is what it is. And I like to let you know this. I appreciate y'all for joining us today in the Dusty section of IG. I definitely want to let y'all know that you're much appreciated, and we definitely need to get together more often as we do now. The beautiful month of March, we might just have to go a little bit live and get these topics off and everything. But I appreciate you checking in, and I salute you. And I thank y'all so very much. And I definitely want y'all to get out there, and I want you to go follow Jones Sounds at IG if you're not already following, because we're definitely going to unpack a few things this month of March Madness. We're going to unpack the madness in this March. But I say thank you. I salute you. We inside, baby. We out.